Hello and welcome, my friends and viewers, to this week's episode of Legendlore, where I draw pictures of characters, monsters, gods, and other things from D&D 5th edition, while giving a small bit of quickly digestible history about them. Together we'll go over their origins within the game, how they're utilized in the modern edition, and how I like to utilize them in my own games. We'll be digging further into the older fictional novel history of D&D with this week's character, Alias, the artificial human assassin, warrior, and main character of the novel Azure Bonds. Alias is a being crafted by magic as a private assassin and proxy for those who created her, appearing primarily in the fantasy novel Azure Bonds and its sequels, written by Kate Novak and Jeff Grubb. In the story, she awakens in a tavern with a mysterious blue tattoo on her arm, the mark seemingly adverse to magic and compelling her to do horrible things, such as nearly killing a priest who is attempting to remove it. In time, her story focuses on her hunting down and defeating each one of her various creators, learning along the way that she was programmed to perform certain tasks and fulfill goals she herself was never aware of, effectively becoming the fantasy equivalent of a sleeper agent. But in time, she overcomes this and eventually becomes the leader of an adventuring trio alongside a small, dinosaur-like paladin named Dragonbait and a halfling bard named Olive Rustkettle, the former of which makes an appearance in the Tomb of Annihilation D&D module. In her first book, Alias is usually depicted as relatively self-confident and strong-willed, but her later stories would see her discover her origins and begin to manifest immature behaviors, petulance, and a lack of control over her emotions. This is mainly caused by the intentional machinations of her creators, specifically two: Kasana, an evil centuries-old wizard, and a man known as the Nameless Bard, who is a disgraced member of the Harpers, a good-aligned organization within the book. She would eventually become embroiled in an ancient prophecy to free Moander, a deity of rot, corruption, and decay, and a great old one. Alias was created by 6 individuals in total, her primary creator being the aforementioned Nameless Bard, whose true name is Finder Wivensburg. While her physical body was made by cloning the wizard Kasana and modifying her to perfect health, strength, and beauty, the Nameless Bard would create her memories. The other makers involved would be the powerful lich Zyprakus, an extraplanar beholder-like entity named Falsey, and the dark god Moander himself, though the funds and finance for such a creation were provided by a thieves guild known as the Fire Dives. In terms of physical appearance, Alias appears as a muscular and beautiful female with a wild brush of red hair, standing 6 feet tall and often wandering simple leather armor and chainmail. The armor that she is wearing right now was actually given to her by Kasana, and is enchanted with special abjuration magic despite looking less physically protective. From what I've learned in my research, Alias in the Forgotten Realms works as an agent of the good-aligned organization known as the Harpers, and as such I like to have her be encountered as a source of information, hired as a sellsword, or even encountered as an opponent depending on your party. Interestingly enough, Alias can also be encountered in the form of duplicates, clones made to serve different purposes such as assassination, theft, and so on. This can lead to a very interesting situation in which the party, having encountered the true Alias, now have to aid her in avoiding suffering the consequences for being framed and proving her innocence. In terms of mechanics and classes, I see Alias as a fighter-rogue multiclass, primarily the Battlemaster and Swashbuckler respectively. While she may be an artificially made human, I do think that the Reborn lineage from the new Gothic lineages Unearthed Arcana would fit her particularly well. Beyond that, the magic armor given to her by Kasana would be her only real magic item, and probably bear uses of spells like Shield, Absorb Elements, Dispel Magic, and Counterspell. Alias, being the brainchild of 6 powerful and evil figures, struggled through waves of amnesia and mental conditioning, but ultimately overcame her past and became a mercenary, agent of the Harpers, and a heroic adventurer surrounded by true friends, many of which I also do intend to cover in this series of videos. I want to thank all of you guys for watching, and if you guys want to keep updated on the next Legendlore, please subscribe and press the little bell icon in the corner, and please follow me on social media for progress on each art piece. Also, please comment down below if you've used Alias in any of your games, your thoughts about her, or how you guys may feel about her story. Also, please let me know what kind of D&D characters, monsters, and gods you guys would like to see me cover in future videos. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.